Hello, new friend. I do a couple of things that most comedians do not do. I do a quick overview with you about the jokes, the parodies. I have learned from experience not to just assume anything, because what one person may consider offensive, another person might consider run-of-the-day silliness. One-liners, funny stories, punchlines that had conservative Baptist preachers rolling on the floor laughing. Do the identical word-for-word expressions and have someone complain that it was offensive. Let me just run these by you, okay? No one's going to be offended at my parody, "I've Got to Pee," to the tune of "Your Cheating Heart."
Well, obviously, something's wrong with me. I'm jumping around, not touching the ground. I hope I don't sneeze. Take pity on me. For can't you see, I've got to pee.
No, I do not. And don't you
For
ever
a
say
bathroom
I
I beg.
If that offends you, let me know. No one's going to be offended at "Rub Me Down with Bengay," based on Houston, by Dean Martin.
Fell down and busted my lip. Banana peel, it made me slip. I've got a big bump on my head. Just put me back to bed. Rub me down with Bengay. Bengay.
I don't think anyone would be offended if I did my imitation of Willie Nelson and Dean Martin, or Willie Nelson, Elvis Presley, or some crazy combination, doing a duet.
One fresh and tender kiss, and one stolen night of bliss.
There's much more stuff to worry about in this world than that. However, someone may be offended if I did "Here Come the Mormons."
Riding down the highway on their new swing, gonna do some preaching to the lost. 2 by 2 is the only way you see them. Plus they volunteer, they pay all their cost.
This is something I've done all my life. I've either made them up or I picked them up here and there. Jeff Foxworthy taught me this also. I never use the word sex, but instead I say something like, "Okay, do you think later on tonight we can play touch and tickle?" I dropped that little gag one time at a senior adult gathering, and a lady in the back, "What's that?" Her question was more funny than my question. Crazy, man. Since I stutter, I make fun of myself, which leads me to share experiences I've had with fellow stutterers. There again, I don't think anything like that would be offensive, because I'm not making fun of stutterers. I am one. It runs in my family. I have 2 cousins who stutter. When we get together, it takes us 20 minutes just to say, "Hello, how are you?" I do have one story, and this is a true word-for-word story. It involves a young man who had the mentality of a 5-year-old. And I love to be around these people because they're so honest. He always wanted to pray. He begged the preacher to let him pray one night, and the preacher acquiesced, introduced him, and came up and prayed short prayer. That's great. He took about 3 feet off the stage and he ran back. "Don't anybody move. Don't anybody move. Please bless our softball team. They ain't worth the..." That is the only ugly word that I say throughout the entire performance. My wife, Miss Prim and Proper, says, "Ron, that joke will not work in any other way. That joke will not work without doing that." This little gag, which I actually read, what if computers were given gender? You see, like male and female. You know, Hurricane Katrina, Hurricane Andrew, that kind of stuff. Men in a computer class came up with 4 reasons why they'd be female, and women came up in the same computer class with why they should be referred to as male. The only questionable reason that the women gave, and it's always the last, it's the punchline, it's the funniest thing, the whole deal, is in order to get male computers to work, you must first turn them on. It made you laugh, I guarantee. Is Kay trying to feed me to death?
a doctor now. Doctor, what is wrong with me? He took one look now. He said to me now, you're getting fat as you can be. Plain to see, plain to see, what her cooking's been doing to me. Plain to see, plain to see, what her cooking's been doing to me. She may have a plan.
Unless someone in the audience is attempting to feed their spouse to death, they're going to laugh at the lyrics. That's about it. Some Pops will go over everything. Silly observations like, why do we look in our handkerchief after we've blown our nose? What do we expect to see there? Oh, look, okay, I've got some gold coins. Woo-hoo. I got 10,000 shares of stock in AT&T. Great. Woo, you know, just silly stuff. Please contact me because you are the one who's going to approve these jokes. You're the one who's going to hear any complaints, okay? God bless you now.
Fell down and busted my lip. Banana peel, it made me slip. I've got a big bump on my head. Just put me back to bed. Rub me down with Bengay, Bengay, Bengay. I kiss my wife, it gives me a thrill, but she keeps asking me about my will. My kids never come to see me. I'm in a bad shape, don't you agree?